Hello, and welcome to episode 159 of the Knitting Samurai and Her Guys video podcast. I'm your host, Steph, and we are in the mobile recording studio today. We haven't been out here in quite some time, so I thought we would change it up a little bit, do a little lunchtime recording. Today's episode should be a little more exciting than the last few. We have a little trip to my stash in here and some mid-progress reports throughout the week. I recorded a few clips for you, so I'll intersperse those as they make sense throughout the show, and then I do have some hat knitting updates to share with you all. So grab your knitting, sit on down, and let's talk. How have you guys been? It is a rainy, dreary day here in New Hampshire. We are on day 5. Every day of May, it has rained so far here, and that's good news. It's good because the Saturday before, well, it's good for the flowers, and it's not so bad for us because the Saturday before all this rain started, Steve's uncle and his cousin came up and they put gutters on the house. Woohoo! So excited, so excited. They had experience doing it, and we had seen them the weekend before, and we're talking about the French drain and the trenching and how it was a lot more difficult than we thought. And just, I don't know, it was great to have some experienced, handy individuals that were oh so willing to come help us and, you know, lay out their vision. And now we have gutters on the front of the house. So rain all you want. My basement's gonna be dry. We still have to finish putting in the French drain. Steve and my dad dug the trench across the side of the house on Saturday while his uncle and his cousin were putting the gutters on. So that's good. It's like in progress. There's a 4 yards of rock, like 4 cubic yards. I don't know. There's a mountain of crushed stone in my driveway. I picked out the color. It's a lovely blue stone. Anyways, you're not here to hear about the rocks around my house or the gutters on my house for that matter. You're here to talk about knitting. So let's get into that. I've been on a hat kick, right? Here it is May, and I think I have only had eyes for hats for the majority of the month here. It's kind of crazy. If you're new to the show, I am not exclusively a hat knitter. Shocking, I know. But I found that knitting the bobble hat by Donna Smith and then incorporating different colorwork patterns on top of it has really sort of filled in a need for me, right? The ribbing is great for mindless knitting, and then the color work is just interesting enough in the evening. So I've been very focused on this, and I am up into the double digits. I've lost count of how many hats I have completed. And one day last week, I was super motivated to put together some more color combinations and sort through my stash. So I have this to share with you. Ladies, I've been going through 2 of my fingering weight bins looking for solid colored yarn that would be, Linus is helping me as you can see, that would be a good choice for making more hats because I can't get enough hats. So I took 2 bins. Can you see this stack here? This is yarn that's mainly solid. That would be a good choice. And then this bin is striped and variegated yarn that's a little too loud. And I'm just going through and pulling things out, and like I was sitting here and having all of these fond memories as I pulled things out. Like this is from the first SSK, the one I went to. So that was exciting to find. And then I found this one, which is why I went to grab the camera, because this is one of the first 3 skeins of sock yarn that I ever dyed. I played with dyeing yarn a little bit for a while there, and I knit my dad a pair with one, I knit myself a pair with one, and then this one I never used. And I love it because it's just this beautiful purple, black, orange, pink color. And it's none of them and all of them together. I have no idea how I accomplished this, but I love this color, so this is a special skein. I won't knit with that for a while. This one right here is a special skein. The labels come off it, but it's a skein of opal in the Blind Venus color. I've knit this already. I've knit this into a pair of socks. Oh, were they for a friend? I don't have them. So a pair of socks for someone. I'm sure it's on my project page. I knit Roland a pair of socks with it when I was pregnant with him. And then a year later, I knit the Brontosaurus, Rebecca Danger Brontosaurus pattern, and he lives with us. He's in the playroom right now, but every time I see this color, it makes me smile, and I purposely went out and bought another skein of it because I love it so much. So that's another one I won't be knitting with anytime soon. Let's see, what else is in here that might be interesting to tell you about? This one is just a great pumpkin color. Hello. I found this and thought this is an Into the World. It would be great as one color, and then the other 3 colors on the hat being the bright yellow, the blue, navy blue, and purple. I thought that would be nice. Of course, I'm finding a lot of teals, because you know me, that's my thing. So some of the yarns that didn't quite make it into Tristan's blanket, I'm pulling those out, and they could be worked into hats. I'm so motivated to use my stash, guys. I can't even tell you. I found some shepherd's wool. And there's a magenta skein that Deb Mom of 3 had sent me in a swap package. So that's a perfect solid color. Oh, there they are. Those two together. Perfect, perfect, perfect. This is a leftover of something. I'm not sure what. What else is in here? It's just exciting to go through your stash and you find things like Barocco sock in this beautiful color that I had no idea I had. So, and this is Ling Jaowu color. It's a horrible, horrible green, spring green color. I will never knit this, but I can feel that inside it has the reinforcing thread, and I'm sure that's why I bought it. It was probably on sale somewhere. Action. It'll be workhorse yarn, 75-25. Yeah, it should be a pair of socks someday. Not for a head though. And then this is a skein of Happy Camper from Fiber Nymph Dye Works, one of her clubs I was in. I've used the other 2 colors from the club. This is the 3rd one. It's called Cheer Cheer. It's a sport weight, so it doesn't belong in this bin because this is just fingering. I did find a few of those things. This is leftover from a shawl I knit for my mom. It's her most worn shawl. It is Fiber Optics cashmere, soft beyond belief. It's this great chocolate cocoa tweed color altogether. I don't know what this one is. I'm gonna guess that it's what's her name? Yeah, I've lost some tags in my bin. Here's some blues from Webs. And then this is when I was buying yellows for Dad. This is a yellow sock for him. This is just some red. So clearly I have plenty of pink sock weight yarn ahead because I was going through I keep this bag. Here, I will share it with you. I keep this bag of, it's like a mattress, not a mattress, a comforter bag. This is where I put all of my sock scrap yarns in here. It's just a mess of fingering weight yarns that could be used for another project or could be just used as for odds and ends. And so I've been working through this for most of the hats I've been knitting, and I came in here this afternoon and I was like, I have no choices. All that's left is self-striping and small amounts that wouldn't be enough to do a section of the colorwork hat I am planning on doing. The pebbled hat? Pebbled cliff hat? I'm repacking this by what needs to be wound and what doesn't, because I'm less likely to use it if I need to skein it up. So the skeins are going in. I got this. This was one of the door prizes I got at SSK. Let me find his mate. And this is the mate. Is this not the perfect color for me? They were part of a kit. I don't see the name, but this is Dana, Unwind Yarn Company. This is her stuff. So I'm excited to try this. This one's definitely going into the next hat. Work yarns. I will admit it, I have been hoarding it. Do 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 do. That's a great blue. Oh, that's a sweater's quantity. Vizio holiday wreath. I knit this while I was laboring with Tristan. And then I got another skein of it, so that's not the skein. But I knit myself a pair of Afterthought heel socks, I believe. Oh, there's something big and chunky in there. Oh. Claudia hand paints. My first love. Do you ever do that? Oh my goodness, it was fine before, and now it just keeps falling. It's like, what's happening here? I don't know. Oh, that's a sock. All right. Get all my little yarn babies put back where they go. Put this one over here. That's it. Wait, didn't I say I was gonna knit with this? We've got some Leading Men fiber arts. Action. With reinforcing threads on with it. Barocco soft. I had this colorway once and I decided to cut down on my yarn stash, and so I sold it to a friend, Daphne. And then I wanted to knit with this color. And I looked high and low, and it was like 2 or 3 years later when I decided I wanted to knit with it. And then I bought it, and now look at it. It's just sitting in my stash again. I need to knit my mom a pair of socks with that because she loves the Barocco self-striping, self-patterning. You know, it looks feral. Those are among her favorites of the ones I have knit her. I did an orange and red pair for her that are just stunning. So, all right, everybody's in. Almost everybody anyway. I gotta get it more evened out because right now I can't close this one and I need to put a few more skeins of socks that rock in it. So we'll just shift a few out. So nice to have a nice warm room. You know, this used to be stored out in the garage at the condo, and whenever I wanted to go out there, it was in a cold cement floor in a cold room, no natural light. We had a lot of light bulbs in the ceiling, but no natural light. And so I'd bring in a bunch of stuff, go through it, bring it back out. And so it's really nice to sit here in the sun and play with my yarn. So after putting those combinations together, I was like, okay, gotta clear off the needles. So I buckled down, if you will, and I finished this one, which you saw in progress last week. This is the bobble hat combined with Maple Cider, I think is the name of it, by Alicia Palmer. Sorry, no show notes. I mean, there will be show notes, but there aren't any in front of me, so I'm going off memory here. I wish that my arrows had come out a little clearer, a little neater. This was take 2. I had knit about 2 inches into the colorwork portion and then ripped back on a Friday afternoon because they looked messy, and then I tried to make them a little cleaner and still not super pleased with them, but they'll do. They'll do. That'll do. So there's the way the crown decreases work. Love them, love them, love them. Using up some scraps here. This is 1 strand of alpaca fingering weight held with a superwash wool. So you can see I ran out of the alpaca about here and went to just 2 strands of the superwash, and I think it's fine. So the top is a little bit pinker. So that one's done. That is a present, so I need to weave in my ends on that. Oh, and make my pom-pom. The pom-pom maker arrived at long last. I'm sure I've mentioned it to you guys before that this was the top rated pom-pom maker on Amazon. It was like $4 for 4 of them and different sizes, and I think shipping took like 30 days, but they're here. And so I fully intend on Mother's Day, as I sit and knit, play, and have food brought to me while I just enjoy knitting and indulging myself. I fully intend to make probably 15 pom-poms, so that's part of that day's activities planned. So that was one hat. The next hat, I incorporated the Pebble Cliff hat. I can't remember who it's by. Maybe I'll put something here to tell you. But I used leftover sock yarn for most of this, and then this was a new skein of Into the World I haven't used. It was one of the club colors. Can't remember it. It's on my project page. I absolutely love this color, this orange color right here, so I tried to pull in other colors. I would say this was not so much of a color work success. Stranding every other stitch, right, for this portion right here, most of the hat is worked like that. And even though I was using my one strand on each finger, and my floats are nice and loose, it did make the hat a little bit tighter. I don't know if the 2 strands of yarn on every single row took up more room, but it is a little bit tighter than my other finished ones, knit at the same gauge, same number of stitches and all that. So no fear, it'll still be a great hat to give to someone, but it will not be a keeper for me. I very much enjoyed the Pebble Cliff pattern. And what else do I have to say about it? Yeah, I think I got a little overzealous putting this color work together, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, and for this hat you really only need 4. So I started another one, and this one I think is a smashing success. I absolutely love this one. This is a strand of Schaefer Ann, which is a discontinued yarn, but it's a lace weight yarn that I had in my stash that's variegated, and it's basically this variegated color right here that you see. I held it with a dark purple, and then I did 2 strands of a red, and then a navy, and then this bright Dana of Unwind, Into the World, no, not Into the World, Dana of Unwind Yarn Company, one of her sock weight yarns. It's great, high twist yarn. And then I held the Schaefer Ann again with the teal. And this one came out a little bit pointy, so it's going to need some blocking. This is the first one of my colorwork hats that I've done. I've switched colors in the crown decreases, and so I think it just made it a little less neat. I mean, it looks nice, and I think with a pom-pom of similar colors on top, it'll look great, but it made it stick up. I don't know. It's not flat across the top, and it's exactly the same as all the others. I was working on this last night while watching The Night Watchman. Very good miniseries on AMC. So I would recommend that if you like spy, what are they called? The thrillers that are like cerebral thrillers? No, that's not right. Suspense. It's not scary, but it's very interesting. So I altered the decreases through here a little bit, or altered the pattern for the decreases, and I like the way it turned out. So I think it looks pretty darn good. I really like this one. We'll see if I end up giving it away or not. And so you know how I've been knitting the hats like crazy hat knitter lady? Well, this one I have been working on, and it was a huge pain. I have to tell you that I've put together, it's from Norway with Love, I think. I put this pattern that had hearts on it. They don't look nearly as bad on there as they do in real life. And maybe it's because I'm only 1 row past where the hearts end, but they just look like blobs to me. And I really didn't think it out very well, that it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 intarsia hearts. So it's not really knitting in the round. I ended up breaking yarn in all these smaller pieces and pulling it back across the back of the heart made the heart look really kind of wonky and crazy looking. So I made it this far. I'm like 2 inches past, and I think I'm gonna call it quits. Rip it back to the ribbing and do larger hearts. So I really only have 3 colors that I want to do with the hearts, and if I kept this size I would need to do 4. So yeah. See, those don't look so bad though. Now I don't know what to do now that I'm looking at it through the camera. How come things look so different on the camera than they do in real life sometimes? I don't know. Anyways, okay. Well, I guess you're going to find out in about 10 seconds whether or not I kept it going or ripped it out. is still alive and kicking. It is. So I wasn't sure earlier in the week if I should do this. And I've kept on it. It's definitely a back burner project. I'm not working. I mean, I finished 3 other hats in the time it's taken me to do 3 inches on this one. But I am very close to, in fact, yes, I've done 2 sets of crown decreases on this. So it's getting closer. It's getting closer. But this one is by Pickles design team, and it's Norway with Love, I think is the heart pattern that I incorporated here. I was so excited. I realized I could take my Arnie and Carlos, those Christmas balls, that book that they did of different stitch patterns on the balls. I'm gonna put some of those on hats too. I was really excited to realize I could do that. But anyways, this is a strand of alpaca held with fingering weight, sport weight fingering weight. And we've got some Happy Feet in here, some Tosh Merino light in here. I think this one is Happy Feet as well. And then the blue is this skein. It's a contrasting heels and toes. It's an alpaca wool yarn that I know I won't knit into socks, so I'm using the blue for the hearts on the top of the hat. So there's that. And then I have one more, except I showed you 2. One more to show you. So this is another skein of the Schaefer Ann. I bought 2 skeins of this yarn before I realized, yeah, I'm really not a fan of lace knitting, and this has mohair in it. It is a 60% merino superwash, 25% mohair, 15% nylon. It says 7 to 8 stitches per inch, but 560 yards. So I'm thinking, based on the yardage, yeah, 560 for 4 ounces. Based on the yardage, I would definitely call it a lace weight. So, and for this one, I'm not using the cubics anymore. I moved off them, but then I used them. They've grown on me. I'm perfectly fine with using the cubics needles, in case you're wondering. Those are the Knitter's Pride, the square nickel needles, whatever the shiny metal needle is. Fine with using those, and I have that much done on this ribbing. So I'm not sure what colorwork pattern I'm going to incorporate on that, but that's how that's going. It's not going to be the pebble. I'm kind of over knitting the pebble cliff hat. I think I'll do something with white just to kind of tone it down. And the other color I'm holding with that is some leftover String Theory in Caper Sock, which is an 80-10-10 merino nylon cashmere. And I knit a shawl with this. So just some leftover. Glad to be using it up. I feel like it's the end of the month and I should totally have an update for you. Yeah, I know I'm down like 3 miles of yarn for the year. That's awesome. I haven't knit any blanket squares. Doing this off the cuff. I haven't knit any sweaters for anyone. What else are my goals? Blanket squares, sweaters, socks. I didn't knit any new socks. I knit the socks I knit for my cousin already. I think that's it. So not a lot of progress on my goals, but definitely on working down the stash. So I call that success. Oh, and working down the stash, I've been using leftover scraps. So even though my total stash mileage has gone down 3 miles, I've actually knit more than 3 miles because I'm using scraps that are not entered in my stash or have been marked as all used up, and I have a ball like this that I'm just burning through. So that's my update there. Whoa, look at that. I fit it all in, and the sun is kind of peeking through a little bit, and just in time for me to go back into the office. And let's see what else is going on with us before I go. can't think of anything. Tristan is crazy. He is saying so many words. Holy smokes. The car ride home has gotten extremely loud. So the boys go to daycare in my office building, and it's a 17 minute drive from our new house to work. And the entire way home, Roland is usually telling me what happened during the day, or he's singing, or, you know, he's always talking. He's a very talkative person. So he's doing that. But lately, Tristan has been like, Mommy, that, Mommy, that, Mommy, bridge, another one, Mommy, what's that? What's that? So it's gotten quite loud in the car on the ride home. But he tries to say everything that we're saying. So at 23 months, oh my gosh, in 5 days, he'll be 23 months old. At 23 months old, he is like, his verbal development is coming right along, and I'm so excited to see it. So, because of course, you know, it's frustrating to them, to little people, when they can't communicate and they don't feel like their feelings are being heard. Yeah, so the more words he picks up, the happier we all are, and he's just so sweet. He's so cute. He says, Mommy, I love you. And he says, oh gosh, I got it. He says lots of little phrases that are just adorable. Yeah, and then my Roro, just a quick update on him. He is a crazy soccer man. He is loving it. Last week when he went, he was a little hesitant, a little shy, reserved, which is not his normal attitude. And so I'm trying to be supportive, but also enthusiastic, and like push him to go out there and do this. This is going to be fun. And I know he's going to really like playing soccer. He had a good time the week before. And so I'm like, okay, what's up, bud? What's going on? And he tells me that he's nervous, and would I please come with him to talk to the coach? And so we go over and we say, hi, Coach Owen, how's it going? And coach says, hey, bud, how's it going? And the minute the coach acknowledged Roland's presence, like, he didn't even say Roland's name. It was like this little personality explosion, and the weight and the clouds were lifted, and he had a big giant smile, and he was so excited, and he took off running and didn't need me for the rest of the time. He was so happy to be there and play soccer. So it's great to see. Yeah, I really love watching the differences in their personalities and seeing them interact together. I mean, even last night we got home late, and Steve and I were both busy in the kitchen just doing dinner and putting away the lunch boxes and, you know, the household stuff. And the boys, I don't know what they were doing even, but they're in the living room and they're twirling and laughing and just enjoying being together, you know? So, it's just a good time. It's a good time. And yeah, so I hope you're having a good time enjoying spring. It has totally snuck up on me that it is May, and I can't believe the year is this far along. Holy smokes. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to a really busy, fun summer, and work has calmed down quite a bit. We've changed the format of things, so I'm enjoying a little breathing space, and it's all good. It's all good, my friends. So I will see you in about 10 days or so, when maybe my eye will have wandered and I will have knit something other than a hat. We'll see. Come on back and find out. Okay, take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hashtag raging inferno.
Still think of a fiery chasm.